Hi guys, I just want to speak about the responsibility of being an instructor. An awful lot of martial artists train for a number of years and they get to their black belt level, and it can be quite a long, grueling task, or sometimes it may be pretty okay. Whatever way your journey goes, it'll be different. It'll be up and down. It'll have its highs and its lows. But I remember when I got my first dan in Taekwondo, and I was pretty eager to open up a club. And my instructor at the time, he kind of said, okay, I had done some teaching for him for a long period of time, and he said, on the basis of that and seeing me doing that, then he would be okay with me taking up that role and having my own place, having my own club. And just because of my experience from him giving me the opportunity to teach for him, I was able to I had some ideas myself. I had already developed ways of giving over information that if I hadn't had gained that work experience, kind of we'd say, from him, then I would definitely not have had as much of an impact in teaching than what I did in the end. Other people from the club were kind of more reluctant to teach, and it was mostly kids I was teaching, because nobody else would take those kids, while my instructor was able to concentrate on more senior grades. But what I did learn was what the responsibility of an instructor is. And I learned it at a very early stage, which is really, really great. And the responsibility of an instructor, for me, is to be grateful for people that come into the dojang, and then help them reach their goals, whatever those goals are. If they are to get fitter, get more confident, have a happy pastime, achieve a black belt, have a higher level of self-esteem, whatever they are, all those things, a good instructor guides the students that come in his door through that path. A good instructor is also responsible for the level of ability of his or her students. What I try to do in Rebel Martial Arts is not put candidates forward for grading unless I feel that they're at an ability and at a level to pass. Because when somebody fails, I then take that as being, my failure. That's because me as an instructor, my job was to get these people up to a level where they were good enough to pass, and I had seen them in the class doing this to the level that was a good enough standard. And then when if they ever go into a grading situation, and then if they fall apart on the floor, then that is my fault. It's my responsibility to fix that problem, and in a shorter space of time, and preferably not to let it happen at all. You guide your students through their grades. You teach them how to handle different situations that will occur in their Taekwondo career, with their gradings and their competitions and such. You let them understand the feeling of loss by bringing them to competitions. You let them understand what competition actually means. It's a personal test, as opposed to you trying to show that you're better than anybody else. It's about you showing that you can get up there and go in front of somebody else that you don't really know, and then test yourself against that person. If you win, then you win. If you don't, then you still gain an experience, and that experience and how you react to that experience can be positive or negative. We try to make sure that all our members have a positive experience out of all their competitions and grading events. Ultimately then, every student that walks through the door of my dojang, I've already planned how they're going to get to the black belt stage. If I hadn't made that plan out in my head, then I wouldn't be able to kind of visualize this person at the end of their training with a black belt wrapped around their waist. They may not even have done that idea themselves, but because I have already made that decision in my head. I plotted out their course, and it's up to me then as an instructor to make sure that they follow that through to the letter as much as possible. Now, there's also another side to it. The student has to be responsible too, and I'm going to go into that in more detail in another video. But for now, thanks for listening, guys, and train hard.